If you could identify your next breakout running back, you're one step closer to a fantasy football championship. Today, we're breaking down the 6 best running backs to draft in fantasy football 2026.
Starting off, our first league-winning running back for 2026 is Ashton Jeanty. And looking at the stat here, there have been 6 running backs since 2016 that have been drafted in the top 12 picks of the NFL draft. And in their sophomore season, they've averaged over 19 points per game, which last year would have been good for the RB6 on the season. So like these guys, I expect Ashton Jeanty to have a monster breakout sophomore season with a new coaching upgrade going from Pete Carroll to Clint Kubiak. And a QB upgrade no matter who's the starter for week one between Kirk Cousins and Fernando Mendoza. And they added one of the best centers in the league in free agency, signing Tyler Linderbaum, who is one of the best run blockers in the league and pass blockers, and he's going to make this offensive line much better compared to last season where they ranked dead last in run block success rate. So I expect to see a Bijan Robinson type of year two for Genty, where Bijan only averaged 14.5 points per game his rookie year because of how bad the offense was. Then because of a QB upgrade and coaching change, he was the RB3 in his sophomore season in 2024, averaging over 20 points per game.
And he still finished, what was he, like a top 15 guy last year? In such an inconsistent up and down season. Finishing that high is such a green flag, and he's just going to get better. The team got so much better in the offseason. So, like, just from those right there, from what he did last year, what we saw, what he can do, and now the new additions and just a better team, this guy's in store. We have him as our RB3 as a whole. I mean, this guy, dude, he's the real deal.
I'm going to say something. He was in a situation that was impossible to succeed in. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah,
And now,
it really was terrible last year. It couldn't have been. It can't literally get worse than the situation was last year. And he still finished the top 12 running back in full
Yep.
PPR. So,
exactly.
okay, our second player that is a league winner for 2026 is Omarion Hampton.
And here with Hampton, he was on track to be a fantasy superstar until a foot injury in week 5 caused him to miss 7 weeks. He also had one of the worst offensive lines in football last season due to the injury of both his tackles, which were huge pieces that he gets back this season. Now, with the coaching hire of Mike McDaniel, I expect him to get the most out of Hampton's potential. We see a great power and speed combo. When he was at his best for 3 games after Najee Harris went down, he averaged 21.8 points and played around 80% of the snaps. And also, in the 9 games, Hampton finished 6 of them with double-digit points. This is the most talented running back in Mike McDaniel's system, and he gets the most out of them. He has one of the highest ceilings in all of fantasy football, and it wouldn't shock me if he's inside the top 5 or top 3 running backs in all fantasy. And now you can see by this chart we have on the screen, all the running backs, all the starting running backs that Mike McDaniel has had. All of them have put up spectacular fantasy seasons. The only one you can take away is 2022. But besides that, all of them have been RB1s in all of fantasy.
Yeah, and Hampton, even though with the injury at the end of last year, he still averaged over 4 yards per carry. And we've seen in years past with Austin Eckler that Herbert loves to check the ball down, and he had over 30 receptions last year in only 9 games. So I expect he has a great receiving ceiling, and he's a great rusher. So I really do think in this situation with McDaniels, it's going to be a great spot to be in for Hampton. Okay, our third league winning running back for 2026 is Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs, my thing on this video about my 2 players, volume is king. Josh Jacobs is going to get those touches. He's definitely going to get those touchdowns. As we see, his 2 years of Green Bay, 16 touchdowns, 14 touchdowns. He has so many carries inside the 10. He is one of the best goal line backs in football right now. The situation has not changed at all. It's the same team, same quarterback, same coaching. He's in set for the exact same thing, getting those touches, pounding him inside the 10-yard line. His ADP is down because of his legal issues. We don't think that's going to be a risk, though. So his ADP is a little low right now. We see on Underdog, he's 40, which is the RB18. He's finished last year. He finished the RB15, which is pretty low, knowing that he missed 2 games and 3 games were like 20% snap share. If you take out those 5 games, he averaged over 18 points per game. We think this guy is going to be a sick return on investment, and he's going to be way better than what he's being drafted at right now.
Yeah, and we've seen really with the NFL, like they really don't suspend like the season, like it happens like the offseason. Like if it happened this offseason, he's not gonna get suspended this year. I think he's gonna get suspended in the 2027 season. So I don't really think really wouldn't be worried about him getting suspended for the season because I just think it's too soon. But yeah, if you can get him an average ADP of 30, which is in the middle of the third round, I think that's a great value for a running back that's been an RB1 basically his entire tenure with the Packers.
Yep.
And Emmanuel Wilson also left, who was the guy that took a lot of the work away from Jacobs when he was dealing with the PCL injury. Now it's pretty much just Marshawn Lloyd and Chris Brooks. And Josh Jacobs should see the whole backfield yet again. Like you said, volume is key, and he's going to get a lot of volume. And there shouldn't be any legal issues happening this season, like you said.
Yeah, it's a great point with Emmanuel Wilson because really Marshawn Lloyd has barely played and Chris Brooks is not a good running back. I don't think so. I don't think there should be any concern about a backup taking work from Jacobs because I really think this backfield is fully his and you're not going to have to worry about him losing any sort of touches really. Emmanuel Wilson, he did come in the game on a decent amount of third downs last year. So I do think that there might be more of a receiving upside for Jacobs this year than it has been, I guess, last year with the Packers. So
I mean, Marshawn Lloyd, I mean, it seems like I've heard his name every single year, just talking about some different kind of injury. And I even think he's hurt now. I don't think he'll ever be a threat.
yeah, already he's been held out of OTAs for undisclosed injury.
As he's played one game in 2 seasons.
Okay, our fourth running back that is the league winner for 2026 is Treveyon Henderson. And from weeks 9 to 18 at the end of last season, we saw Henderson break out, averaging 17.1 points per game and had over 5 yards per carry. And this stat here on the screen shows that last year when Henderson had over 60% of the snaps, he averaged over 21 points per game, over 100 total yards, and almost 20 touches per game. And coming out of college, we thought Henderson was going to be a great pass blocker and receiving back. And he ended up struggling as a pass blocker, which led to Ramondre Stevenson being used on a lot of third downs last season, which caused Henderson to not be used as a receiving back as much as we thought he would. But during OTAs, Henderson has already said his number one goal in the offseason was to improve as a pass blocker. And if Henderson can stay in the field on third downs, we can see a massive receiving season from him. As we know, Josh McDaniels in the past, he loves scheming up plays for his smaller receiving running backs. We've seen from James White and Rex Burkhead. And the Patriots now, they do have one of the harder schedules in the league, which is a good thing for Henderson, I think, because it means they're going to be down in games and it will open up more passing opportunities for Henderson. And there's another comparison here from rookie Jahmyr Gibbs to rookie Henderson. And I'm not saying that Henderson is as good as Gibbs, but their stats are pretty comparable and they're not that far off from each other. And they were in a pretty similar situation both in their rookie years. So, and Henderson, he's going in the 5th round of drafts compared to where Gibbs that year he was like a 1-2 turn pick. So I just think you're getting great value here on Henderson in round 5. Continuing on, our 5th running back that is the league winner for 2026 is Bhayshul Tuten.
And now, in the last 2 seasons in a Liam Cohen offense, we saw a rookie breakout from Bucky Irving and a career resurgence in ETN. Tuten is now next in line to continue this trend. They clearly had trust in Tuten as they let ETN leave to the Saints, and they only added Chris Rodriguez in this backfield. Tuten wasn't the most efficient player last year, but in just 93 touches, he scored 7 touchdowns. During the season late, he was trusted as the goal line back and had over a 20% missed tackle rate. But I believe the Jags have trusted him, and with this 4.32 speed and Liam Cohen being a beast with fantasy running backs, I think Tuten is right in line to continue this trend to be a big-time breakout this season in fantasy.
Yeah, Chris Rodriguez doesn't scare me at all. Last year, he was a healthy scratch for the Commanders when their starting running backs were Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt and Austin Eckler. And Austin Eckler's, 30-something now? So I just think Chris Rodriguez is really nothing, and I don't think it doesn't concern me at all with Bhayshul Tuten. I do think he's going to come in, and he's looked great in camp so far too, Bhayshul Tuten. So I think he's going to come in. He's going to be this team's starting running back, and a starting running back in a Liam Cohen system is a great thing to have, I think.
Exactly, and what Liam Cohen has done with running backs is he's made them way more efficient.
Mm-hmm.
Like you look at Bucky Irving, his yards per carry went from 5.4 to 3.4. Yes, he was hurt, but 2 yards per carry is a huge difference. The same thing at ETN. He was at 3.7 yards per carry. Came in with Liam Cohen up to 4.3. The offensive lines for some reason play better with Liam Cohen scheming them up, and the running backs just wind up playing a lot better.
Our last league-winning running back for 2026 is David Montgomery.
So we see David Montgomery coming from the Lions to the Houston Texans. It screams Joe Mixon to me. This thing, you saw Joe Mixon was a little aged, that he came to Houston and had a great year before he got hurt last year, which was a tough injury on him. But D-Mont is the guy in Houston right now. He is the running back. We saw Woody Marks and Chubb are his competition, and they're not good. They're not all that. They revamped the O-line. This offense was terrible last year. It really can't get any worse. Stroud is going to play better. This team will play better. The O-line will be better. As we see on this chart, these charts are from No Expert Fantasy Sports and Sal Vitri, 2 great sources. So we see he has .089 fantasy points per opportunity, which was elite. He did not have many snaps last year with Detroit, but we know how good Gibbs was. So when he gets in this workhorse role, Demont is going to thrive and he's going to be good. I'm telling you, maybe not next year, but for this single year, he's going to have a really great year. And I predict 12 or more touchdowns. How about 15 touchdowns?
The thing with Montgomery that I really like is that he's never, except for last year, which was the first year he wasn't a top 24 running back in his career. It was really just because Jahmyr Gibbs is so elite. How would you ever want him to not be on the field? Which I think was the only reason. That's why they traded him, because they wanted Gibbs to be the workhorse. So, and he's been really efficient these last couple of years with Detroit. But I do think the situation is more like how it was when he was with Chicago. And I do think he's going to be less efficient, but he's going to get a bunch more volume, which will minimize the loss of efficiency, I think.
In Chicago, he didn't finish below RB24, and he had that RB4 season, which was out of nowhere and pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So we know what he can do. We know his upside. He's getting old, as I said, but as in that workhorse role, the sky's the limit.
And he hasn't seen a decline yet, as we've seen from a lot of older running backs. Yes, he's going into year 8, but even last year, he was still efficient on the ground with 4.5 yards per carry. Yeah, he didn't start any games. He started a back-to-back 14 games in Detroit last season. Now in 2025, he started 0 games. Now he's back to being the starting running back. We haven't seen a washed-up version of him yet. I don't think this is the year just yet. I think, like you said, similar to Joe Mixon, he can put together one last good year of his career and pay off for your fantasy teams.
And I really do think that Montgomery's going to be in a 3-down role. He really is an underrated receiving back. And that was the thing with Jahmyr Gibbs on early in his career, that Montgomery was just a great blocker, which is why he was the 3rd-down running back in the 2023 season for the Lions. So I don't think that Woody Marks is really going to take much from it. I know Woody Marks may be more of a faster guy, so he might be still going to be used as a receiving back slightly, but I really just think this is Montgomery's backfield.
If he was unable to handle the RB1 role, he would not be in the situation. He wouldn't be the guy here if he was not able to handle this role. But he is.
And Woody Marks isn't that good.
He's not
that good.
He had the opportunity last year, and he didn't do anything with it.
Yeah.
And his O-line did improve.
Yeah. His snap shares toward the end of the year were shitty, too. I mean, he was just declining, even as a rookie. So.
Thank you guys for watching. We hope these 6 running backs help you guys win your 2026 leagues. Make sure to stay tuned for more content throughout the summer. We're going to keep posting Monday, Wednesday, Friday for you guys.
Make sure to check out all our socials, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok.
We'll have the receivers video coming up next time, and keep going, baby. Football's around the corner.
Oh, yeah. 12 Sundays. After yesterday was Sunday, 12 Sundays away from the first NFL Sunday.